law that is gasping to a widening NSA scandal that just might have you puking, because not only is the agency snooping on Americans and Europeans, but apparently Latinos as well. Now reports of emails and calls to and from Latin America that were also targeted to Judge Napolitano, who's been shouting, "No lay!" Get it? No lay. Anyway,
no way I'm shouting.
Exactly. What do you make of it?
I make of it that the government is largely out of control, that the government willingly ignores the Constitution, frustrates federal law, all in an effort to give us the impression and appearance that it is keeping us safe. It has given us this line, which doesn't make sense, but most Americans accept it. Well, I have nothing to hide, so I don't care if they listen to me. And if they're listening to me, they're listening to the bad guys. And if they're listening to the bad guys, we'll be safe. You know what, Neil? It doesn't keep us safe. Just ask the people at the Boston Marathon. It tramples the Constitution, and it will turn us into East Germany. In East Germany, in the very end, before it was liberated, the most frequently prosecuted crime was failure to report another crime.
Wow.
How did they know that you knew about another crime and didn't report it? Because they heard everything you said on the telephone and because they read your mail. Do we really want that kind of a society here? Because if we don't stop this, that's what's coming. In Latin America, it's dumbfounding to me that he would do that.
I could see if they were looking at maybe there might be a method to the madness if you're, let's say, tracking, exchanges between Venezuela and the United States, Ecuador lately in our relations in the United States, but it's a stretch even then.
To suggest that they should listen to phone calls from people just on the basis of where they're sending the call, without evidence that the receiver of the call is an evil person and the call might contain evidence.
But what if they're just collecting the records? In other words, okay, the judge phoned a lot of people in Caracas, and they phoned him.
Would you trust them when they say, "Hey, Neil, we have the transcript of every email and text you've sent to Napolitano, and we have a tape of every phone call you've made to him, but trust us, we won't listen to the tapes."
It's a valid point. And by the way, along the way, we've always, there are more of these little surprises. The calls, I'm pretty sure the calls back and forth to Ireland, to Italy, where does it end?
It now appears that the FISA court has given the government everything that it wanted. It has not even compelled the government to distinguish or explain the likelihood that a call or a class of calls is likely to produce evidence of ill behavior. It has just said, we need everything, so that if anything happens, we can go back and figure out who did it.
And your argument is, once they have everything, the next logical step is
to start listening to it and reading it and looking for other things wrong so that they can justify having it. Does that keep us safe? Is that really the society we want? Did any of us consent to that? Is it authorized by the Constitution? The answers to those questions are painfully obvious.
Very well put. Judge, thank you very much.
Sure, Neil.
And if the NSA is looking, those calls back and forth, me in Buenos Aires, it was to a Cinnabon. Anyway,
why do I believe that?
It is the world's largest Cinnabon. I'm joking. Anyway, forget the